know how we do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite podcast.
Riffin with Griffin, yeah.
Whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah. Riffin with Griffin.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, what's up, y'all? Baby on board. Riffin Griffin is back. We've been off for a little while. And I'll tell you why. Baby on board right now. But anyways, I went to the Tribeca Film Festival. We'll talk about that. A couple of movies I saw there, including my own movie that I was in. And this other movie, Sacramento. This show, Dark Matters, that I'm watching on HBO TV. Really good movie. A television show. We'll talk about that. On Riffin with Griffin. Damn, Wolf, I missed the break on that. I missed the break because you messing around. Oh, man, I didn't even do... Man, I'm not doing anything right today. I just... I didn't even put the right screen on that I usually have when I'm doing, like, yeah, Riffin with Griffin. There we go. Woo, woo, woo. Guys, make sure you subscribe while we're still doing it. Subscribe. Hit me on Twitch with a follow on Twitch, because that's where I'm gaming a lot there, and you could support the show that way. And plus, Patreon content. I do Monday Nuance. I've missed a couple but I have a good reason. But anyways, be a Patreon member, and come check that out if you want to support the show that way. Patreon or Twitch. Be a subscriber there, and all that helps the show. Appreciate it. As you know, I've been thinking about. Maybe this is Riffin with Griffin is coming to an end, but whatever. We'll see where it goes. I might just do it just on Patreon, because then you're just hitting just the people that really want to see it. You know what I mean? We'll see. I don't know. This is Wolf. Wolf, what's happening, kid? Let me take this off because he it's not gonna allow. He's in this grabby phase right now. So as you can see, I got this little tyke with me right now. Let's see. So today, today we're talking about, once again, this is great show, Dark Matters, on Apple TV. So I do want to talk about that. That's a really great show. I love that show. And then, I saw a couple of movies in Tribecca, my own movie, and I saw this movie, Sacramento, made by my good buddy Mike Agriano. I know I didn't say his name right, but he was in I'm Dying Up Here with me. And he wrote this and directed it. It was like it took him. It was like 8 years in the making. Michael Cera is in it. Kristen Stewart. Michael Cera is so good in this movie. But we'll get to that. We'll get to all that. And then what else? There's this funny hater video that somebody made about me. I think it's funny, but I don't think that the people that like this guy want me to think it's funny. I think they only get their rocks off if I am upset, but we'll talk about that. We'll get to that. And what else? And I don't know. We'll see what else is going on. What else? But first, HomeChef, everybody. HomeChef is our great sponsor of the show. HomeChef meals are effortless, even for someone like me who isn't making it on Top Chef anytime soon. That's for sure. That's homechef.com/Griffin for 18 free meals and free desserts for life. You heard that right, guys. Free desserts for life. Homechef.com/Griffin. You must be an active subscriber to receive free desserts. Okay, so here we are, guys. Back at it. Little Wolf is here, being a menace. The kid's good. Everything's healthy there. He's smiling a lot. He's grabbing things, and he's rolling. Now we already had our first he rolled off the couch situation. Up to this point, you could just kind of put him down and like nothing happens. You know what I mean? Wait, I can't see the chat. Sorry, guys. You just put him down and everything's fine. But now he's at this. Oh, he's kicking my hand. Come on, babe. Let me get. There we go. It's just he's like. So then you put him down, right? Like when you're other people that have kids, you're changing your baby. Like you put them on the changing table, then you go get all the stuff that you need. Or let's say you need to go to the bathroom and you're alone. You put the baby down and you go to the bathroom. So we had put him down and he like. In a certain position, and he's starting to move forward. This nice moving forward, and he like rolled himself off the couch. So now we're like in like oh my god mode. You know what I mean? So we're just like making sure he's okay. You know what I mean? So fun times, fun times with the baby, man. Fun times with the baby. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah. So listen, guys, I want to. I didn't do my podcast last week because I was super emotional, and I might even get emotional now. I hope not. I feel like I'm okay, and then I just started to think about it. But my mother died last week. I was on my way to Tribecca. My mother was in hospice for 2 months. She had dementia, and she got a terrible blood clot, and it was just one of those things. And she passed peacefully. My stepfather had her on the phone, like he was like filming her because I wasn't there. What could I do? And then she just passed peacefully. It was, it's like, it's like a, it's a weird kind of grief, man. It hits you when it hits you. It just really does. Sometimes it could be anything. It could be like you're looking at something, and then it just hits you, and you're just like, oh man, why am I feeling this way? Or I'll see pictures, or somebody will start, talking to me. Somebody will be like, hey, I can't believe that this, this happened. Do you remember? I remember your mom this way. And then you just like, it happens, you just start, you're just really emotional. So I realized that I don't think the emotions are ever going to go away. I think you're always going to like feel those emotions. And, it's just about managing your emotions, and it's not like suppressing them or hiding them. But, there is a time and place, you know what I mean? You don't just want to be someplace, you're doing something important, and you just fucking break out in tears. And then it's like, okay, now you're like, making it bad for other people. For the people that are listening right now, the little grunts and growls you hear, that's actually my son on my lap right now, being a wild child. But I am happy that I got the opportunity to take Wolf to see his grandma. I have some great pictures of them together, so that's pretty good. And it's just those are just great moments. All right, that I'll have, and I'll probably frame those pictures. I mean, he won't know. I'll just be able to tell him, yes, mommy's here. Thank you. Woo. Thanks, Rach. You were great, Wolf. Thanks for being here. Yeah, man. So, it hits you in these like random times, random waves of like, just grief, right? You just feel this grief, but I learned to be kind and generous from my mom. She, taught me, to be kind to people no matter what. And I'll always cherish that. And I try to live by that. And I just want to pass that on to, my kid, you know what I mean? And so hopefully that lesson will sink in. But anyways, enough of those emotional things right now. All right, before I get into comments, and the reason why I want to talk about this first before I get into comments is because, it's going to be like, it's going to be a whole thing. Like this guy, so funny. This guy made this like hater video about me, right? So funny. I don't know what his name is. What's the guy's name? His name is Too Lazy to Try YouTube. That's his YouTube. I actually put a post of it on my thing. What's crazy is this guy made a hater video about me, and he gets more views than my podcast, and it's about me. I almost feel like I need to start doing hater videos about me. You know what I mean? Like I should just like rebrand the podcast just hating on Erik Griffin. Who is this guy? You know? So you know what I mean? And it's like now, like the video has 193,000 views of it now. I'm like, God damn. Do people like disliking me? You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyways, I was on the Legion of Skanks, man. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know that podcast, and that fan base is just like that's a toxic. There's toxic fringe that watch that fan base. That's just but they're all like that. There's bad friends, people who are like that just hit me up with negativity. There's like, you know what I mean? There's a fringe, I guess, of every podcast, and it's indicative of what happens online. So these people are just like inundating my message box and all this stuff. So I went into I thought it was funny, so I went into the comments. You know what I mean? Because I just think it's like the guy made a whole video. So anyways, so I'm on Legion of Skanks, and I tell this story about, and I've told this story before on other things, whatever. It's like, so I got into this lift a few years ago. I got into this lift. And this is the thing I didn't say about the story, because I was just trying to be funny in the moment with the Skanks because we were talking about Uber and all this stuff. But I got into this, and then, by the way, Robert Kelly was telling me like he has a high rating because he talks to people and he's nice to them, and it was the whole interaction, right? So, anyways, I get into this lift. Now, I'll never forget this, and it's not because she made a joke, because I don't really care. Bobby Lee is the one that called me Mr. Potato Head. Rick Glassman took it further and got me this cup. This, you know what I mean? This Mr. Potato Head cup. Like I don't like listen. I don't care, right? You know what I mean? Call me whatever. All right. So the point is, all right, so that was a thing that was in my head. I knew about that. So anyways, I get into this lift, and the lady was like weird, like autistic type weird, not that being autistic is weird. I'm just giving you an example of what, like there's a spectrum there, and she was definitely like, it was weird. I don't even know if that's what it was. I'm saying it was autistic-like. Because it was so bizarre. Like, the way she said it, she said, it was, this is what I'm saying. I didn't express it when I was telling this story, but I'm telling you now because we can get more in-depth and into it. It's like, the girl was like contemplating, and she was being like real, like standoffish. And then she says, yeah, you look like Mr. Potato Head. I can laugh about it now, but at the time I was like, it wasn't even like, if she was making a joke, like let's say she's a fan of Tiger Belly or she's a fan of whatever, or if the lady was trying to be fun, when somebody's trying to be funny, they're saying like, hey man, this was like serious. Like it just threw me for a loop. I didn't appreciate it. It wasn't even about it being a joke. It just was like the way she said it. So I remember I went on Twitter while she was talking. She was just saying stuff. I wasn't even listening. I was just like, hey, I got into your Uber. And then anyway, the, Lyft tweets back at me and right? So anyways, I tell this story. Well, man, now this turns into a whole thing. So this guy makes a video about me, about doing this. And then he goes deep into my podcast, like 2018, and finds a video about me talking about something complete. Like this is two different scenarios. The thing I was talking about in 2018 was about, somebody not getting the bags, when it was like, that's what they're there for, But anyways, so he grabbed that and like put them together. And then of course the idiots online made it out to be one thing. Like it was all the same thing. And it wasn't, So, but whatever, you go on this, thing and I see it and I start, commenting myself because again, I think it's funny. I even posted it on my channel. I posted my thing, because I thought it was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. Somebody went through all this trouble, but I don't begrudge the guy. This is how the guy makes money. You know what I mean? Like this is literally what he does. It's like that other guy, who's always watching. It's like, if that's what you do, that's what you do. If this is how you make money, make money. Hey, how he's doing it is better than what I'm doing, right? So then you of course it's like you have to say all kinds of hater stuff about me. The thing that I resent in the video more than anything else is when he says, Oh, he's just a podcaster. That's all he's doing now. That's the part that got me. Like everything else they said, I don't care. Have fun at it. But you think that's all I'm doing is like, but I mean, you know, that's for the video. But I mean, I just did a movie that was in Tribecca. I just did another movie with Al Pacino and Vince Vaughn are starring in the movie. It's a little part, very little. I got one scene, but I'm in the movie, you know. I did George Lopez last year. I'm also directing. I've directed 4 comedy specials. One of them is the most watched special of last year. I just directed another one, and I directed this other, you know. I just joined the Directors Guild. You know what I mean? Like, to think that like just because the podcast world, y'all don't watch movies or like care about anything else but being negative, those negative people, like, come on now, don't just, you know. And then it's like, you know, you see some of the comments. Oh, this is, you know what? How I read comments, we should read these comments. That's actually funny. You know what I mean? Like, we should read the comments from this video. That's the comments that we should read, right? That would actually be, would that be kind of funny? All right, so it's got like 194,000 views now, right? Good grief. So like this one guy says, Erik is notoriously thin-skinned. He used to stream on Twitch, and basically anyone who wasn't kissing up to him constantly got permabanned. That sounds like a troll bitch who said some dumb shit and got banned. Right? You know, yeah. So that sounds like a hater. Whatever. I still stream on Twitch. Erik Griffin Gaming. Come check me out. Let's see. Now this is a funny one. I wonder if he put his angry eyes on when he was complaining to the lift. That's funny. I gotta give that guy a thumbs up. That one's hilarious. I gotta even comment. That is funny. So that's a funny one right there. You know, just people make, you know what I'm saying? Like people that are having fun, you know, then of course, you know, there's some, you know, like this is the one, this guy's like, calling this guy comedian is a stretch. It's like, what? I invite anyone come to any of my shows out of town. I guarantee you will have a good time. I'm hilarious. I'm not hilarious on this podcast because that's not what I do on here. But I'm fucking hilarious. Come check me out. And I appreciate that there were some people in the comments of that were like, yeah, I've gone to see him many times. He's super funny. So it's just one of those things. It's like haters gonna hate, right? You know, there's just so many of these. You know, honestly, worse Karen behavior because you expect Karens to not have a sense of humor. Jokes are literally this guy's job. It's like, again, it wasn't a joke. If it was a joke, I would have laughed. It wasn't a joke. It was just a weird interaction, but whatever. You know, there's all these people about, you know, going in about stuff. And there was one, the reason why I want to talk about it, I don't know where this comment is. There's so many comments now that I can't even find the one that I'm looking for. But it was a kind of thing that was like, oh, you know, why is he in these comments? The fact that he's in these comments, and this is something that I've talked about in the past, and I'll do my comments too, guys. This is something I've talked about in the past is like, I wonder if the fans of a channel like that, a guy makes a video about me, and then I go in and I'm having fun with the video because I think it's funny. And then some dumb bitch writes a comment like, you know, oh, you're in the comments, like, you know, you're not gonna like making it out that I shouldn't be in the comments of this video. So my question I always want to ask, and if there's any haters here in the comment section right now of my thing on live stream who came for this, are you a fan of this guy? Are you a fan of his channel? Are you a fan of his channel? Just blankly a fan, or do you need to have a negative response from the person he's talking to? Like if he's making someone the subject of his video, is it important to you that the subject of that video feel terrible, get upset? Do you need that feeling for this to be anything? Like all the people that have come to my channel and wrote like some Mr. Potato Head a comment, first of all, you're like 5 years behind, like that's old news. Like I said, Bobby Lee's the first person to call me that on his podcast, and it just became a thing that even Rick Glassman was calling me that, and he gave me the cup. You know what I mean? I'll show the cup again. Like, this is not something that's new. It's not some new thing. So it's like all these people that are coming with their jokes, I'm just like, are you coming because like you're like, ooh, this is what you do? Like the guy makes a video and then you go try. All right, now he put up this bat signal. It's time to go trash that guy. Let's go all over his stuff and trash him. So you're kind of like, you're like, okay, is that the reason? Does that validate the guy? Like he's making these videos. Maybe it doesn't matter to him because like he's making so much money off these videos. And he's got a Patreon. Go follow the guy if you're into that. So there are people. Maybe there's people who just like watching this type of thing. But I feel like the people that have to like come to my Instagram and come attack me on YouTube or whatever they're coming to, wherever they're coming with the comments. I'm wondering, it's like, do you need me to be upset? Like, why can't I have fun with the video too? You know what I mean? It's like, why can't I have fun? So if I have fun, does it take away from the video? Like, does it upset you that I'm not upset? Should I be upset? Like, I want to make everybody happy. So like the haters that like, you're coming and saying like really terrible jokes in the comments and stuff. Like, do you need me to be upset? Because if you need me to be upset, then I'm like, that guy. Can't believe he did that. So I don't know. It's a weird psychology I always think about. I almost want to like talk to one of these like, one of these people who like come in and like say some like these awful things, these like, and you go, I wonder, like, why are you saying that? I would really like to like interview one of those people one time. You just find a hater, then you go, hey man, why are you hating? Like for real. You're a fan of that guy and all the videos that he makes. It's all negativity. Like, are you a fan of negativity? Like, why do you need that? It'd be interesting to know. But anyway, shout out to the guy. Get your views, man. I wish I was getting 193,000 views about me. It reminds me of like, oh, and then here's another thing he did too. Like he went into like this the Workaholics podcast, the guys that's important, and Adam's telling this story about he first met me and he was like, oh, he was a dick. And then he's trying to use that as, see, even the Workaholics guys don't like him. Even though like I have a picture of Adam with my son, at Adam's house a month ago. We went to the game. I talk to them frequently, like I'm not, but what do these people know? Right. But that's Adam's shtick. He's always saying that. But by the way, I probably was mean back in the day because he wasn't funny. You know what I mean? He was a weird comedian. He was weird. It was like young and weird. And I was like, what are you doing? Right? But he went on to do the thing that he does great, which is acting and being a comedic actor, which he does and producing stuff, which is fantastic. But at the time when I met him, if he thought I was mean, like, hey. But it didn't stop them from booking me for the show that I was on for 7 years. It didn't stop all the things I've done after that. I've worked with Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler and Ray Romano. You know what I mean? Like I've done, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's one of those things, man. Anyways, what else is there going on? Let's see. Where are we at? Oh, shit. You know what? I'll tell you where we're at right now. We're at HomeChef. HomeChef, sponsor of the show. Shout out to HomeChef, man. It's in the summer, you probably find yourself spending a lot of money eating out. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. But with HomeChef, you can save time and money while still getting the dining out feeling. HomeChef's great, y'all. They send you the stuff, everything you need. You make the food. It's great. HomeChef provides fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes, conveniently delivered to your doorstep. Simplify your cooking experience. It's actually really easy to follow, and then you don't have to worry about getting too much of something. You'll have everything you need to make the perfect meal. It's great. HomeChef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs, so you don't have to worry about what to make ahead of time. So it's great, y'all. For a limited time, HomeChef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/Griffin. That's homechef.com/Griffin for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/Griffin. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. Yeah. HomeChef. Okay, so I was at the Tribeca Film Festival because I was in this movie called The Everything Pot. It was great. Tribeca was a great experience. Like, the only thing though is like, it's like sometimes you want to go to a film festival or some kind of festival and you want everything to be like right there. Like when you go to JFL, like before when it was still active, everything's right there in this little, all the theaters and things. It's easy to get to everything. And it's like, so there's like a, city blocks blocked off for just this. When you go into Tribeca in New York, it's not really like that. There's the Tribeca area. And then they have like the center where you have like, the art center of Tribeca, and they have movies there, big movies there, and then they have like the classrooms or whatever, the workrooms and everything. But then they just had like Tribeca at like different theaters around the city, not necessarily close to each other. So our movie was like, it was at a certain theater. We had a good turnout, and it was like at 11 something in the morning time. And we had a good turnout for the movie. There's already been some good critic reviews, but not the big ones yet. But we'll see. It's the director Charisse Dorf's. She wrote the movie and directed the movie. It's her first time director, and she got into the Tribeca Film Festival. That was it was great. You know what I mean? And then so it's it's the Everything Pot. And the movie's, this is the description of the movie. When married 50-something Rachel RSVPs and sends a gift way too quickly to an acquaintance wedding, this seemingly insignificant faux pas snowballs into a series of misunderstandings that threaten to destroy two marriages at once. That's actually a great description. So, I played her husband, and then like we get this gift and then something happens and then it's like you realize things that are going on in the relationships. And, it's a great movie because it gives you this idea that like you have to work on your marriage. For guys, it's like, hey, make sure you're like checking on your wife, making sure she's feeling loved and sexy and heard and all this kind of stuff, and the movie has all those kinds of messages. And then new couples, it's about like, not getting upset about, former friends and like how you communicate. And so it's like, it's a quick movie. You watch it, you go right through it, and it's just, it's great. So I do highly recommend it. And I'm not just saying it because I'm in it. I know some of the haters that are here from the other video, you think I don't do anything, but I'm actually an actor. But it's good. I got a lot of great compliments as I was leaving the theater. Like all the, the critics, people were like, hey man, we really liked you. And all the people that were in the theater, they found me like, oh my God, you were so good. So, but it's I think festivals are like blow smoke up your ass things. It's like, let's see what really happens. But I hope the movie gets sold. Like I say, I had a great time making the movie, and check it out, guys. It's called The Everything Pot, and it was in Tribeca. The Everything Pot. I'll put the IMDb in the description of the show so you can check it out. You can just check out what it's about. You know what I mean? We put that in right now. The Everything Pot. So there's the IMDb for it right there. It's in the description. So check that movie out. But I'm not going to talk too much about it because I was in the movie. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, Griffin. I'll tell you a movie that I saw that I just absolutely loved. So we were in a bunch of write-ups for like 10 movies to watch for Tribeca, and my movie was one of those movies. But another movie that was in there was this movie called Sacramento. And Sacramento is starring my buddy Mike Angarano. He was in I'm Dying Up Here with Me. And he was like in Star High. And he's been in a lot of stuff, man. And he was on the podcast before. I've had him on the podcast in the early days of the podcast. But he wrote this and he directed it with his buddy Chris Nichols Smith. They wrote this movie. And Sacramento is about Ricky, an energetic and free-spirited young man who convinces Glenn, his longtime friend who settled into domestic life, to go on an impromptu road trip from Los Angeles to Sacramento. It's so crazy that that's the description, because that's not even what the movie's about, you know? This movie's about fatherhood. Like, Michael Cera is so good in this movie. He plays this sort of quirky guy. He's got like a real, like, off-putting quirk that his wife, played by Kristen Stewart, has to deal with. She's pregnant, and he's like this, you know, and he's like difficult, and she's like, hey, you know, I'm pregnant. I don't think I should be dealing with you right now. It's like really great how they portray what's up with him, his tick that he has, and you see it throughout the whole movie that, and you know, some things happen and you still root for him, you know. And Mike plays this guy who, you know, he's dealing with grief. He's dealing with the grief of his choices and the death of his father. And, you know, it's like got a lot of great messages, and it's not necessarily a road trip, even though it feels like it's a road trip for a certain part of it. But I do highly recommend seeing this. And it was bought before it even got to Tribeca. Like the movie company, like, you know, one of those movie companies hit him, he grabbed it like, yo, we got to grab this movie because it's really good. So shout out to him, man. It was pretty good movie, man. So check out Sacramento, and it stars Kristen Stewart, Rosaline Chow, Maya Erskine, and you know, Mike and Michael Cera, the two Michaels. It was very good movie, and I do highly recommend it. You know, I guess I give it like a bunch of woo woos. I won't do any woo woos right now, though. I don't have my headphones on, so I don't want to do any woo woos. So the other show I wanted to talk to you about that I'm watching is this show Dark Matter on Apple TV. Man, this show is like, this is a great show. It's slow, but I'm telling you, stick with it. And I can't wait to see where it's going to go. I hope, like, Apple TV does a lot of like great sort of like, what's that? Black Mirror-ish type of shows, you know? This would be like one episode of Black Mirror, and then they turned it into a show. It feels like that. It's great. So a man is abducted into an alternate version of his life and the mind-bending landscape of lives he could have lived. He embarks on a harrowing journey to get back to his true family and save them from a most terrifying foe, himself. So that's what the movie's about. So, like, this scientist guy creates a portal into other dimensions, like alternate universes, right? He creates this thing. And then, like, you know, what happens is the guy that created it, he obviously wasn't happy with his life. So he goes into this box and he finds an alternate universe where he likes what's going on. He has a wife and a kid and all this. And he kidnaps himself and sends himself back to the universe that he came from. Now, the guy in the new universe, he's like, I want to get back to my wife and my kid, and he's trying to figure out how to get there, and that's what the show's about. But it's well acted. It stars Joel Edgerton, Jennifer Connelly, and Jimmy Simpson. A lot of great performances in this, and and the actors are playing different versions of themselves too throughout the series. So it's actually pretty good, man. You gotta. I highly recommend it if you have Apple TV. Listen, I don't know if you have an iPhone, like, get Apple TV, get one of those bundles where you get all the stuff. They have that great thing where you get it sounds like I'm going to do a commercial for them, but you get the news and you get Apple TV and then you get storage. You get more storage. They have like a bundle. It's kind of pricey, but when you consider everything you get in the bundle, it's probably worth it, you know, because you know when you're on your iPhone and you go to like you hit the news and it'll be like, sign up for this, sign up for Rolling Stone, sign up. When you sign up on that bundle, you get all that for free. Not free, but you get that as a part of the bundle. So that's like, you know, that's pretty good. So I would check that out, man. Dark Matter. I would check that show out. Pretty fun show, man. Pretty fun show. So one of the things that, speaking of Apple, one of the things that's coming out is like, you know, man, we haven't talked about AI in a while, but man, AI is just like everywhere, dude. Like but I don't know if it's as scary to people anymore. Remember how scared everybody was? Everybody's talking about AI. I think like anything, like any story in the news, anything that's like, people just kind of like, they forget about it and they move on. But the powers that be, there are still people who are really concerned about AI. But then there's the companies who are like, no, we got to keep going. So, there's two big ones. Like, to me, it's like Google, and Siri. So like, Siri's like sort of a form of AI, but it's not like the AI. So I think that Apple is like, they're teaming up with one of these AI things, and they're going to, combine it. So now they've combined it, and it's like this Apple AI. Now they're calling it Apple Intelligence instead of, artificial intelligence. And now your phone is going to be able to do all kinds of stuff, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be like, you're going to be able to edit pictures with your voice. You're going to be able to like ask it questions. It's going to learn about you. It's going to be like a little, like a little partner that you're going to have. But then it's like all that information, is it saved on your phone? Like, is this artificial intelligence, as it learns about you, will it stay on the phone, or will it be in the cloud? And then who's in charge of that? Then they're going to have all these little personalities in the cloud that knows everything about you. So, I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. But, I don't know if you've ever used AI or tried to use it. I mean, it's actually pretty great. Like, if you open up AI and you just go like, hey, can you take me step by step how to make scrambled eggs? It'll do it, and then you could even say, oh, can you make it more simple? And it'll simplify it. You could be like, well, can you speak in can you make the language something I can understand? Can you make it really smooth for me? And like, so if your phone is going to be able to do that for you, that's pretty amazing, man. You know what I mean? That's, that's pretty amazing. I can't find the top to this. I don't know where because this looks weird. Like, it's like shaved Mr. Potato Head. I almost want to put it up like so people could know. Like, it's like, hey, I heard it. I don't care. Because I see some of the comments. This is what's going to happen for a while now. The people from that video are going to come to the comments, and they're going to be like, oh, Mr. Potato Head. Because I think they want me to be mad. Like, oh my God, I'm so furious that I got called Mr. Potato Head. I don't know if this is fun for them. The people that came, they might be like upset. It's like, because I'm not allowed to have fun with it. They are, but not me. But anyways, that's what I have on my iPhone. I'll make my AI be like, hey, people call me Mr. Potato Head, so make sure you like, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe the AI could like do something like that. So I don't know. And so the reason why I was bringing it up, because it's like one of the trending topics is like Elon Musk is like not having it. He is so upset about the AI that's going to be in the iPhones that he's threatening to like whoever works for him at his companies, if they have an iPhone, they can't use them. They're going to have to put them in a locked box all day, and that's going to be the end of that. Which is going to be like, that's crazy. I mean, you're basically forcing people not to, like, what if you have kids and you have to be able to get in contact? You have to have some other way. It's pretty crazy. But, on the article, he says, Elon Musk, who threatened to ban his employees and visitors from using Apple devices at the companies he runs, and said on June 10th post on X, he is no longer a fan of iPhone, the iPad, the Mac computers, because he has security concerns about whether Apple's new partnership with OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, will protect users' personal data. I mean, I'm not always a fan of Elon Musk, but I agree with that statement. Like if the thing is, if the AI has access to the internet, because that's what you would want, right? When you're talking to Siri, you're like, yo, where's the nearest thing? It has to search the internet. Hey, how do I get to such and such? It's got to be, you got to go on the internet. So it's like, if it can go on the internet, then it's like, how is our data protected? Can they ensure us there's going to be some, authentication for our whatever this bunch of information that is being gathered about you? So, like the AI is learning about you. But there's a part of me that like, don't you want that too? Don't you want your phone to be like, hey, you got to go to that thing in a second. You can be like, all right, just, find me the fastest route. Like you're talking to Knight Rider, like you're talking to Kit from Knight Rider. There's something about that I think like it's worth the risk, you know? You know what I mean? Like, I think there's part of me that's like, yeah, let's move forward with this. I mean, right? I don't know. You tell me what you think in the chat if you think it's like, you know, something that you are into. I mean, there's people who are like, oh, this is the devil. We can't do this. And then there's other people who are just like, no, we got to move forward. This is where technology is going. And so there's a part of me that is like that. So I understand the idea that there's like security concerns, but I don't think that should be a reason to not do it. You know? I don't think that should be a reason to not do it. I mean, I think it's like incredible access to information. With your voice. There's something about that I want, you know? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, it's like, you know, he says, but the situation is prompting Musk, who is one of the world's richest men, the CEO of X, the head of startup, developed a rival to ChatGPT called Grok, and the co-founder of OpenAI, a company he was suing until just now. Maybe more complicated than just worries about security, Musk, who has a reputation for bluster, is now being called out by members of his social media fact-checking community, saying his claims are inaccurate and misleading. But at this point, you can't believe anything that anyone says about anything, because anything can be doctored. I mean, look at this video that the guy made about me. It sort of implied that my video from 2018 is the same story when it's not, you know? Or grabbing like a clip from the boys podcast, from the Workaholics Guys podcast, to try to like, you know, put the narrative out there that they don't like him, you know? When like I said, I just saw him. I have a picture of Adam with my kid. You know what I mean? It's all that kind of stuff. But you know, you put together what you want and you put out a narrative, people believe it. You know what I mean? Like, you're right. So I don't know. I mean, Elon is like responsible for like some major things in this country right now. Like, you know, Twitter is like that's used to be people's major source of like news and information, or how you find out things, right? We can't have him out here willy-nilly saying whatever he wants. We got to hope that he's above board, right? Like, he's like, hey, you know, but I don't know. Like, how are we going to really know? I hope that, like, that first paragraph about the protect users' personal data, like, I think that's a real concern. You know what I mean? Right? Like, it's like, you know, that's a major thing. So, but that's something why wouldn't we already be worried about that? But, you know, up to this point, you don't really hear about the cloud getting hacked. You know, even though, remember when all those actresses, like nudes and stuff were leaked? I don't know if it was that they hacked the cloud. I think what it was is they hacked some third-party software that those people gave access to the cloud. It's always something like that. You know, you click a link and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, you click on a link and it's up some back door into your phone, but the Apple security itself seems to be okay. You know what I mean? So who knows, right? Who knows, man? But I don't know. I'd love to hear, you know, what you know what I mean? What you guys think, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you think of AI. Are you concerned about AI? Are you concerned about security? Or does the positives outweigh the negatives? That's what I want to know. You know what I mean? That's the thing that I want to know. Does the positives outweigh the negatives? So, you know, who knows? Right? I mean, it's just, man, sometimes I think about it. Like, I'm like, where is this going to lead? You know, our imagination is always like the worst. You know, we always think like the AI is going to be like, it's going to be Terminator and there's no other way to go. You know what I mean? that's the weird thing that we think about. Like, it's like, it's never, I never see like a positive outcome in our stories because we just love negative stuff. I guess that wouldn't be a fun movie. Like, what kind of movie would that be where it's like the AI solves world hunger, cures cancer, fixes the environment, ends racism? Like, I don't know if that's, I guess that wouldn't make a good movie. I don't know. I don't know if that would make a good movie. What do you guys think? So just let me know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Who knows? But anyways, that's going to be it for today. Make sure you check me out. I'll be on Twitch. I got a show tonight at the Comedy Store, so I'll probably get a game for a little while. Then I'm going to go to the Comedy Store for my show. But guys, stay tuned. I'm having to haven't made a full decision on what I want to do, but I know I am going to rebrand. I'm going to change it. Either get a co-host, or I'm going to just strictly do movie reviews or something like that. I got to I need to rebrand it. I don't, sometimes I don't want to do it anymore for whatever reason, but another thing too is like, I don't know if that's really true. I like these other things that I'm doing, man. Like I was in New York editing. I was in New York for two reasons. I was editing the special I directed, and I was doing Tribecca, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then when I went to do this movie, I don't even know, did I tell you guys about what happened with this? I don't think I did. I don't think I've been on since then. I'm not sure if I did or not, but I'll just tell it again anyway, even if I'm not, who cares? So like, I was in Charlotte. So I got this movie. I think I did tell you guys. I think I did. My scene was with Simon Rex, real cool dude. What happened? I was supposed to get to Las Vegas. This is where we were shooting the movie. I was supposed to get to Las Vegas on a certain day. It was the 24th, I think it was. Whatever day it was. I got to Vegas, and I'm thinking I have the day, get my lines right, prepare myself, and rest, because I hadn't slept the night before. And then from there, I was going to, the next day, I'm shooting this scene in this big movie, right? As soon as I land, I get into the hotel. I'm chilling. They call me, Eric. They had to switch the days. They're picking you up in 5 minutes. Go down to the lobby. Man. So then I'm scrambling. I get my phone, put the script on the screen. And then I'm exhausted. I haven't slept. And all I'm doing is learning the lines all the way to the other location, the location that the thing was in. When I was in hair and makeup, I'm learning the lines. When I'm getting my wardrobe, because I hadn't even had a wardrobe fitting, right? So I had the wardrobe fitting, and then it was they had to go do the stuff with the wardrobe. And then I fucking fell asleep because I was tired. I got some breakfast. I'm reading the lines. I'm getting it in my head. And then they come get me oh, we're walking over. We're going to do it. I get there. I meet the director. I meet Simon Rex. And then we shoot a bunch of, we shoot it, It's crazy. But it's but you just got to be ready. Stay ready, y'all. Stay ready. Yeah, stay ready. So I'm looking at some of the comments in here. Like the guy said, bro, we're already starting to weaponize it. They're weaponizing AI. I totally agree. But you weaponize anything. Look, even the internet has been weaponized. You know what I mean? It's how people people use it for negativity. That's weaponizing it in a way, and weaponizing and monetizing the weaponization. Think about that. That's what we do with the internet now. So the AI, but like you say, but the guy said, if it cures cancer, let's go, right? But on one hand, you'll have it cure cancer. On the other hand, it's going to make videos and steal your information or whatever. What if you ask the AI, hey, how can I steal $1 million from the bank and not get caught? Will the AI answer that? Will it give you a breakdown of how to do it? Hey, how do I break into this or that? Or how do I make a bomb? Or how do I get, does the AI answer all of that? And here's the thing too about it though, when you think about security, I don't know if I want them monitoring that kind of stuff. because then they can monitor whatever they want. I mean, it's mind blowing when you think about it, all the different facets of like what can go wrong with AI and the people that are in charge of it. So who knows, man? Who freaking knows? Who freaking knows, man? But I do think that the AI is a great a tool. It's an assistant. I would encourage all of you to use it for things. Like you say you're gonna write a resume. You need to write a resume because you're gonna go for a new job. Boom, it's gonna help you write that resume. Or you might be like, hey, help me prep me for my interview for such and such. Here's who I'm talking to. Here's what I'm trying to do. Here's my qualifications. And then the AI is like, so that's why when you think about the iPhone, it'd be kind of cool for the phone to like know all these things about you. Then you're on the way to a thing, and you're like, what if the AI can like run lines with you if you're an actor? That'd be awesome. If I'm like, hey, AI, run these lines with me for this audition I'm going on, and tell me what you think of my audition. I mean, can you even imagine? Have you already heard? I heard that AI, like some companies are using AI to call you for like customer service, and then it's now sounding like a real person. That's crazy. Like if the customer service at the company has to, and the AI has all the knowledge of like the whatever, you know what I mean? What if like it's Mr. Potato Head? Like it's like there's like a new electronic Mr. Potato Head, and the freaking the AI knows everything about how it works, and you're like AI, you're like whatever. I can't take the nose off my Mr. Potato Head, and they're like, well, have you tried the this and this? And you're like, you look in and you go, oh wow, I didn't. Thank you, AI. You know what I mean? You want the AI to know all the information. It's gonna help you. We won't need so much we're not going to need people to do the things that they're doing. I can't stand you call customer service and they don't know nothing. If you have the AI or the person's using the AI, now we're going to get things done. I don't know, man. This means that we're going to have to learn new stuff, because some jobs are just going to be taken away because they're just impractical now. Why pay for that when you can use the AI for it? So protect yourself, y'all. Learn it. Anyways, that's going to be all for today, guys. I appreciate you being here. Sorry that I missed last week. Look out for Monday Nuance. Monday Nuance, man, I do that on Patreon. So, check out the Monday Nuance on Patreon where I go into in depth on one subject. Maybe watch what I'm going to do for my next Patreon is I'll watch that guy's video on stream. We'll do a watch party. Then I can like talk about each point because it's kind of funny. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny. So I appreciate everybody that came today, even the haters. There's a couple of haters. I had to like hide user so they think that I could see their things. But it's like that's hide user and mute is two of the greatest things ever. On X, mute or even like restrict on Instagram. Which one's the best? What do you guys think? Restrict, mute, or hide user on YouTube? Which one is the best? I think restrict on Instagram is the best. And you know why? Because when you restrict someone on Instagram, you never have to see anything they say again. So what people don't know is like they'll send me some really stupid thing and I just go, okay, restrict, hide user from hide story. But the thing is when I'm in my messages, the word restrict, so it has their name and it says restrict. When I see that, I delete it. I never know what they say. I'll never know what they say again for the rest of my life, for the rest of their life. They don't exist to me other than the move of having to erase. And sometimes I don't even have to do that because it goes into some special box now that is just full of those kinds of things. So you get one and then it's see ya, but they don't know. They get to respond and they're still writing. It's like oh man, I'll leave you with this. I got this weird guy. There's a weird guy sending me messages on Instagram. Some weird stuff. And I just restricted him. And after that, and he keeps sending me messages. sometimes I'm tempted to be like, ooh, I should go check this out. But no, I'm just like, nah, don't do it for my own sanity. So, and yes, Alex G, yeah, we already talked about it. Yeah. I don't know what it's funny that this guy, is this a guy? It must be a guy, Alex G. You know, like I said, I always want to ask, what were you expecting? I'm just curious. Since you just got here, so let's find out. Alex G just got here. He's in chat, and he asked me, did you talk about this already? I'm curious as to, like, what were you hoping for? Like, honest question. And I put that out there if there's haters in the chat now or just people trying to be funny about that thing. I'm funny. Oh, you're just curious. Okay, that's cool. I get it. See, there's a guy right there. He's like, hey, I saw this thing. Did you see this? He's just curious. Okay, that's good. But there are other people I think that are in here that came just to try to be like, oh, you know. And I'm wondering, we want to find those people to, like, interview them. You want to be like, all right, so tell me what you were hoping for. So, but anyways, like I say, I posted it on my YouTube, community thing. If you want to see that video, it's in my community thing. It's got 193,000 views, and it's, you know, I'm like, Jesus Christ, you know, that's pretty crazy. So that's it for this week. Check out HomeChef, you know, sponsor of the show. Shout out to them. And let me know what you think about the AI iPhone Elon thing in the comments. Curious if you like the real question is it worth it? I should have done a poll. Maybe I'll do a poll next week. Is it worth it? You know, like, is the risks worth the reward with AI? Curious what you guys think of that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Love you. And I will see you next week.